What up, y'all? Got some TFT today. Playing a little bit. I've been playing a lot of TFT, man. Grinding. Ooh, okay. So we got Street Demon angle. Early, right? So anywho, hello to everybody that I haven't been talking a little bit, you know. I got stuff in the works. I got a video for... I got some stuff in the works. Don't worry about it. But, oh! California, man. I was gonna make a separate California video, but I feel like I might as well just make it right here, right? Hopefully nobody's going Street Demon. Crazy. Got this. Dude! Okay, whatever. Do our... I'll play something else. But, maybe we go Cypher here. So, let me pull up my notes on California so that I can kind of chit-chat about it while we're playing this game. What did I say? Okay, so first off, when I pulled up to Las Vegas first... Ooh, Silas? Is anybody going Anima Squad? Okay, this guy's already got this. Full body is... That's me, right? Right. Anima squatting. Probably want to play this kind of later, but maybe I can do something like this. Anywho, let's get down to business. So I pulled up to Vegas on my layover, right? Everybody was telling me get there early, get there early. Dog, I was through TSA in like 5 minutes. Like, it literally does not matter. Both times. On the way there and on the way back. But, so, I had to pull up, your boy pulled up to the, to Vegas, and it was hot, man. It was hot as balls. But, you know, it ended up, I got to Vegas, man. Imagine I got to Vegas and there's 100 degrees out. It was crazy. I could not believe it. So I pull up. I'm like, okay, it's California in the summer. Bread don't matter. I get to California. And it is cold, man. It's cold the whole time I'm there. They got mad fog everywhere. It is just chilly. So, believe it or not, your boy gets there, you know, the first night. And I was going to have to, like, take some kind of public transport or something. I met this guy on the plane. Elijah One was his... He was, like, he lives in Vegas, but he was going to Oakland to do some work or something. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'll just give you a ride. So, I got a ride from him. It was pretty hype. He was really chill. He was telling me about bipping, like we were at like the rental car place, and he was like specifically asking for one with like no, like with a trunk, so that the bippers wouldn't see him, because apparently it's a big thing back in Nam or wherever he's from, you know, they be bipping hardcore. Ooh woo. Sorry about that. Let's see. Sorry, I'm Anima set up. Have something? Anima Squad. Rageblade? We don't really care about Rageblade. Yeah, I won't. But, yeah, so the bipping is apparently a really big thing there. And that's like, you know, if you don't know, they're just breaking, like, car windows and they get in, like, steal a bunch of stuff. So that's kind of, he was, like, you know, wary of that. But, you know, we got that all situated. He dropped me off. It was pretty hype. And then I pulled up to the dining hall. It was, like, 10 minutes after it closed or something. Or 5 minutes or something. I couldn't go eat, right? It was kind of sucked. But what I did instead was, oh, surely Seraphine wins this. Woo! So what I did instead was 3, 6, at 10. But I pull up and then I can't get any food, so I gotta go to get dinner somewhere else. So I go to this like burrito place. It's up like, you know, 2-minute walk or whatever. And I pull up and I'm getting my food and, you know, chit chatting with them and whatever. And then I'm like, hey, y'all got a bathroom, right? And then they said, yeah, it's in the back. So I walk in the back, right? The back is just more outside. So I'm like down this alley now. It's very strange. And in this alley, I want on my maybe like Krikla? Because Wolf Unchained gives a bunch of magic damage. They die, you get cast again. You kind of need a hit here. So I go in the back and it's like this super sketchy. I sent a video and I guess pretty much everybody watching this has seen the video. Then I sent it to the group chat, but it was like the very sketchy bathroom, like little area there, and like it was like there was like a lock on it, and it was like a cleaning bucket back there. It looked, dude, I thought I was gonna get, you know, I thought that I had gone state to state at that point. But we ended up getting out of there safely, and then I bounced, and then this is where the story gets really interesting, really strange. So my roommate, I see my roommate, right? Because we're living in these dorms. I see my roommate, and he says his name is Daniel. I think he's from Taiwan, and so it was like his name wasn't actually Daniel, but he said he's like, that's the American version, like call me Daniel or whatever. Like, all right, cool. I could understand him fine, but I sensed that there was something that I was missing, because he's talking to me. He's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm doing this project. I'm from Taiwan. Like it's like a school thing. So I don't want to be loud, you know. So like I'm gonna go like take this call, like in the living room or something. I was like, all right, cool. Like that's okay. This is what I thought. I thought he was gonna like go to the living room and like work out there, so he's not like interrupting me while I'm sleeping. I'm like, all right, cool. That's good with me. And then I'm like, you know, on my phone or doing whatever. And then next thing I know, he just has his bags packed and he's like, all right, we'll see ya. And I was like, where are you going? He was like, oh, or no, because I thought that he said he was going up to the second floor, like some lounge or whatever, to go do his work. And then he just left. He's like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. I was like, wait, was he sleeping up there? Turns out he like changed rooms, right? Anima Squad. He changed rooms. So, you know, he's not like sleeping like in my room anymore, which I'm not going to argue with that. And then he he was like, oh, but like before I leave, here's some cake. We had these like Taiwanese pineapple cakes. Dude, they were delicious, man. I brought one back for Taya. It was really tasty. But it was definitely a little interesting, right? That, I don't know, it was quite the situation. But let's see what was up next. The first day going up this hill, because the Math Research like Institute is on top of this hill. So I gotta like go up this hill. We're working our way up. And do I want to go Titans on him? I sense I do. I want him to just like survive and do a bunch of damage that he's magic damage. Not even sure. Could do that, but I don't think. Nah, I probably will. I'll wait. But anywho, we see a bunch of turkeys on the way up. We see a bunch of fog on the way up every morning. Pretty much, there's a bunch of fog. Cause this is like right near San Francisco, right? So apparently, that's like the fog is a big thing. I didn't know enough about California, dude, when I went there. But yeah, it was pretty hype. I had no water bottles, so every time, like at the beginning, right, I ended up going to jiu-jitsu time, and like I bought a water bottle on the way. But the water, I had to keep. I would have to trek like down the whole. I would have to trek all the way down to the bottom of the stairs to find this. All right, give me a second. forgive me while I roll. Oh. All right. Okay, we're back. Almost got Seraphine 3. Silas situation. So, the water that I had to get right. Y'all are gonna be. I've got so much schizo rambling this episode. So I would have to go down to the like bottom floor. Like I'd take the elevator to go get water every time until I got this water bottle right. They had some. You know, I was in California when they were eating. Dude, for breakfast they had avocado toast and salmon cream cheese one time. They had salmon cream cheese the first like 2 or 3 mornings, right? And I was like, oh man, you know, I only got it once. Like at the end, I was like, oh, because they keep on having it. The whole rest of the time I was there, week and a half, every time down the little cream cheese area, it would say salmon cream cheese, but there was no, like, it was just like the normal cream cheese and like the cream cheese with like chives or I don't know. I'm not like, I wasn't getting that. But, see what we can find here. Dude, I'm really like in need of a Silas 3 here. Can't find it. Your Bastion, Ekivik. NJB's calling me. NJB, sorry, in the future. Watch this. Who am I kidding, bro? Ain't nobody finna be watching a TFT video. I mean, maybe if you guys see that it's got, you know, California. That's probably what I'll name it, because I'm definitely not winning this game, dude. I've been not locked in. But, yeah, this game is so scuffed. But the situation with, wait, didn't I get Seraphine 3? What do I have her for? Our kit chat here. So, as I was saying, probably want. Let's see, man. Dude, I'm tweaking. Yeah, the salmon cream cheese, dude. Okay, so next up, this tweaker lady was tweaking on me big time. She was big time tweaking. Like she was, I saw her, you know, she had like a cat, like, so let me back up real quick. So I saw this lady had a cat, when I was initially like walking home from the dining hall one time, like in a tent or whatever. It was very strange. But, the next, you know, next day or something, I'm walking back home from the dining hall and I see this cat on the ground, right? And this lady is kind of hanging out like, you know, near it, kind of like down, you know, looking at whatever. So I just get down there, you know, it's a cat. I'm starting making cat noise. I'm going, you know, like I'm making these cat noises toward the cat. And she's not happy with that, dude. She's like, oh, like you see me, you know, like, oh, you're such an asshole, whatever. It was interesting that she was really not happy with me for like scaring her cat away. Apparently, like she said that I saw that she was trying to get it, so I like scared it. You know, I was being malicious to the homeless lady. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And she said, you're not sorry, man. She was tweaking on me. She was not the only tweaker that I saw there, but she was the most memorable, or the second. She was one of the most memorable ones. I'm gonna roll down here. Do I even go Vayne? Yeah, I probably should. Dude, I really need Silas, though. My mind. Oh, we got mad Silas. So, I'm over here, you know, interacting with this homeless lady. I go back, and then I'm headed to the gas station, or let me see what the next. Oh, everything was smelling like weed there, man. But I ended up having a big dude. These are all. So I'm just gonna list the bullet points, dude. Walking with Uriel. So there's this guy Uriel from like Mexico or something, who is at the summer school, right? And we had to walk through Skid Row again, is how I said it. So that was where where all the tweakers were. Oh, that was before. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is before the cat lady tweaks on me, and then after the cat lady tweaks on me, I'm eating and then I'm walking / riding to jiu-jitsu. I had to kind of like use a scooter for part of it, because like it was like too far. It's like an hour away, right? One time when I went to Saturday, I did just walk the whole way. It was like an hour because it's 3 and some change miles. But this time I used the scooter for some of it, and then my phone died right as soon I was on the screen to cancel the scooter, and my phone died. And so then of course, you know, like if my phone dies, I can't like cancel the scooter. So I had to start. You know, I was like scrambling to try to get it to cancel. Dude, it was all such a mess. It was not the best. Let's see what I can do. I need Silas. Like, what is my... Okay, I mean, I finally got him. Rageblade on my... Pain. Bad, I don't even know. I should have never gone this augment. This augment sucks. It's fine. I'm telling the story anyway. That's my hope for this video. I can finish telling my story. But wow, can't believe I won. So then I'm going on my way there. I saw a guy with an astronaut suit, like a homeless guy. This is another tweaker. He had an astronaut suit on. I'm not really sure what the deal is with that. Why he had an astronaut suit on? He had like the helmet and everything, right? It was bizarre, really bizarre. But he did, man, and so I kind of like let him do his thing. I let him be. But he definitely, you know, quite the interesting person. I could sell this. Put my... So, that was on my way back, right? After that, oh, Juju said free clothes when I texted him about the astronaut suit. He said, "Oh, it's free clothes." Like, I don't know, like, does he want me to like jump the guy for his astronaut suit? Get him for his foams, maybe? Probably not. That's what Juju meant, but you never know. Why is this guy going Anima Squad? Like, are you dude? Nobody. I cannot believe the guy went Anima Squad, but it's cool. I'm on the comeback here. Yeah, let me try to get these done so that I can get back into my game. I went to go to jiu-jitsu through the slums, dude, but everywhere in California is the slums. That is what you should be taking away from this video. Everywhere is the slums there. They have no unslummed areas. I went to jiu-jitsu and they said no heel hooks, and I just felt sick to my stomach, man. My phone died on the way back, you know. This plant-based sausage, the next day they were catering. And it is twice, dude. 2 times I get scammed. The first time, maybe this is actually the first time that I'm talking about here. But I had this issue, right, with RS. I had this issue where in California everything is plant-based, but you don't know until you already get it. And so it's like, you know, I'm not like reading out like, oh, what's the plant-based option? And so then I keep on having to like look around, like I'm always looking over my shoulder, like to make sure Mr. Plant-Based doesn't like come to get me like the boogeyman, dude. It really is super scuffed. But after 2 times, I was able to be fine with it. This one time I had this plant-based like sausage or something or whatever it was, bro. And I was like, I couldn't decide if I was gonna eat it, right? Because on the one hand, I never waste food. I'm super like adamantly against that. But I couldn't tell if I could consider the plant-based sausage to be food. Right, and so I was like in this internal battle, like, do I do it? And then I ended up kind of just being like, well, whatever. Oh, this Aurora is looking meaty. Yes, please. Nom. So I couldn't tell if I was gonna decide, you know, is this food or not? But I was like, whatever. It's like food enough, you know, so that I'll eat it. And I did. But it was like, you know, it wasn't my favorite. And then, okay, and then. One time in class, right, so I was like getting some water or something. I ended up telling this story to my buddy Eddie, who is Australian, and Parham, who was of a different ethnicity. He was Iranian, yeah. Parham was Iranian. And Parham and well, they were both super chill. They were both going to be pretty important figures in this level here. I level. So, and I got the Gatling gun. Ooh, we're actually kind of in business. We're kind of in business here. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. So, I'm telling him, I'm like, yeah, man, I had this idea when I was like getting some water. That what if a cool superpower would be that you could switch, like you could choose, or rather, you could see as the same in your normal vision as in your peripheral vision, right? And then I was kind of thinking, well, like sometimes peripheral vision is better because you have better, like, you know, color recognition and you have better, like motion sensing and stuff. So you don't always want just normal vision. Sometimes you want peripheral vision, right? And then I was thinking, oh, you know what's even better is if you could choose, you know, if you want your vision to be like peripheral or normal, right? Wouldn't that be great? And then I realized that's just what turning your head is. So I thought a cool superpower would be the ability to turn your head. You know, maybe you didn't like think that that was that funny. I thought it was really, really funny when I ended up, like when I first posed that. Let's see. Put this guy here and this guy here, maybe? Seems legit. So, slam the active. Yeah. So then, there was that was a pretty fun time. What else we got? Yeah, we also the homework, like these practice problems that they gave us. Every day we had 2 lectures. We'd have lecture break, lecture lunch, problem sessions, like, and then some kind of like snack time type break again, where they have like some, and then problem session. You go home. And so we were there. Like I was like busy from like 7 to 7 basically, and it quickly got away from us where we were doing like the practice problems and they were pretty hard or whatever. And then the final guy that was running the summer school, like it was like the first lecture did 2 days, the second lecture did 2 days, and then the last lecture did the Friday and then the whole next week. His problems, like all the problems were always really hard, but I remember on Friday, I asked like a handful of people, and in the 2.5 hours we had for problem session, one guy was able to get 1 problem, and everybody else got 0. Like we were getting cooked, and so there were some TAs there who were like also grad students, but they were like students of the professors and stuff, you know, that were going. And I asked him, I was like, dog, like what's the deal with this, you know, like it's just kind of crazy. And he was like, oh, you know, you can probably find it in here. Rabadons or Crit? Or Dragon? No, I'm probably gonna go Rabadon. Crit here. Crit here. Kraken's Fury here, and I'll be switching out Vayne for the Saya when I get. But anywho, let's see, what were we getting up to? Yeah, so these problems got like super hard, and we couldn't solve like any of them. And then the TA was like, oh yeah, well like that's like in one of his papers, if you can find the paper. I was like, wait, so you're like the kind of the leading like expert, like one of the experts in the field, and you've been studying this stuff for a while, and so you like solve this research problem and like publish it, right? And then we learn it like 2 hours ago, and you're expecting us to be able to do the same thing? You're like, oh yeah, just solve this for your homework problem. Crazy. That dude was I don't know, man. I couldn't do any. But so the school quickly got away from me, and then I was kind of just there for the free food. Like I was waiting for snack time. I was waiting for all that, man. That's what I was looking for. Got a Vayne. Got a Yuumi. We got an Aurora. I shouldn't have kept. One more. So, I was just kind of here for the free food, you know. But once I got it, man, I tell you what, that food was tasty. Let's see what else we got. This guy, Peng Tao, he was from China, dude. Peng Tao rocked with me heavy. Peng Tao was funny, man. He went to USC, University of Southern California. And he was really chill, but we were getting along pretty well, me and Peng Tao. And then, dang, that Renekton isn't it? So what? 3 people went Anima Squad, or what's the deal with that? Everybody's Anima Squad. So, yeah, we had that going on. Actually, probably should. I can't find a single Zaya? Crazy. I'm about to lose it. But let me finish the story. Everybody at my table, dog, every time I ate, everybody spoke more than one language. I felt like such a chump being like speaking English, you know. Everybody speaking like German, Chinese, Spanish. Like people were speaking a lot of different languages. But that ain't me, dog. I'm proud to be an American. There is no prices on things. That was another gripe. Everything is everything's the slums, a bunch of tweakers. Everything is vegan. Yeah. Also, there's no prices on anything, man. You go to the store and you're like, hey, yeah, let me get a price check on that. How about you just put the price on it? Like, are we serious? You want me to come up to you and ask you for the price? Dude, you can put like stickers on there or something, man. It is actually, if I had to guess, I would probably say it's something like the opposite of rocket science. It's like pretty easy, believe it or not. But I don't know, man. I guess they're too poor for just putting a piece of paper on there or something. I went to the convenience store to get my water. I didn't know how much it was. I needed a gallon of water. I was thirsty, so I knew I was gonna buy it. But it was like, dude, crazy, man. Please let me get a Vayne here, or Aurora, please. Zaya, we'll take that. We'll do this. We can do this here. This and this. I'm probably gonna lose here soon, so I need to roll for. Whatever, man. My life is in shambles. I'm actually so in shambles. It's fine though. Maybe I beat this guy. Probably not. This is probably a game. But before I die, right, I'm gonna die with dignity. Let me finish up what I was kind of getting up to. The streets are definitely not made for people like me, I will say, because like they were all there was branches everywhere, man. If you're taller than like 5 foot, maybe 2, you can't walk nowhere without ducking and weaving and bobbing and like, yeah, I like branches everywhere, man. Went on a hike. It was cool. There was this one kind of tweaker guy there. A lot of tweakers, man. There was this one tweaker guy at my summer school, right? And he was like I kind of like, you know, was feeling out one night at dinner. I was like kind of chit chatting about like, you know, oh, like, do you really believe the government is like whatever? Kind of like some light conspiracy, like possible. Like I was like, oh, maybe this, maybe that, right? This guy was like kind of chit chatting with me like the next day or something. He was like, oh, you know, like he was like actively not politically correct, which I think is kind of corny a lot of times. It's not that like, I think that being actively politically correct is also corny, but when you're really trying hard to like be edgy, it's just, dude, it's kind of like, you know, I'm not really rocking with it. But this dude, you know, I was talking to, I was being nice, you know, whatever, chit chatting and stuff. And then he started bringing up like how he like really like, you know, he's like, oh, like, do you think the earth is flat? And I was like, nah. And then he, you know, like you know, he was like, he wasn't saying that it was, but he was like, you know. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, man, do people think that I sound like this all the time when I'm talking about like, you know, the different things that I believe? But he was quite an interesting man. I guess we'll sit on the 7th place screen while I finish up my recap. Oh, well, I press it. So let's look at the picture. My situation. Flat earther, unfitted sheet. Those sheets were actively unfitted. Like there's like fitted sheets, right? And maybe the fitted sheet's kind of loose or whatever. No, I would tuck it every night. It was like you just put a blanket over the bed. There was no elastic at all. I don't know why they had them, but it was such a miserable experience. I could not stand it, bro. Week 2, I'm just here for the food. I was playing balloons in class. They had vegan jambalaya on Juneteenth. Yeah. That was the second time. The first time was that vegan sausage. The second time was the vegan jambalaya. They had vegan. I was like, dude, just. It was awful, man. It was such a devastating experience. And then we were kind of talking about why are there so many types of apple? There's a lot of apples, right? Like it's like, oh, you know, you like oranges. I mean, there's a couple types of orange, maybe navel orange, blood orange. Like mandarin oranges are not; those are not like clementines. Those are not oranges. Like those are different fruits. But you know, navel orange, blood orange, you got a handful, right? Different oranges. Uh, Watermelon, you got one or two, seeded, unseeded. You got grapes, maybe three, like you know, different colors and stuff. Apple, bro, there's 50 billion types of apples. Why do they keep making more apples and they're never good? Like, okay, so apples are fine, but they're not like they're definitely the lower of fruits, right? You keep on making more apples thinking that you're gonna make it better. Not the case, man. The apples never get better. The night before I left, I got incepted. Okay, so this was a pretty crazy situation. The bed was on the wrong wall. I knew that the bed was supposed to be on this wall but instead it was on the other wall. And I was like, I looked at it, I was like, that's not where I shouldn't be waking up here. Like this is a dream, right? And there was like all this other stuff going. I was like trying to pack, like make sure I could get all my stuff out in time. Like I was really stressed about having to be. And then I woke up like from the waking up, and I was like, okay, you know, like I kind of ended up figuring out that that was definitely got incepted. Final couple points. First one, the airport, $17.50 for a breakfast sandwich. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. They had $18 Burger King combos. The prices, and the only place with worse prices than California, like, oh, they're just not going to put the price on anything. The only thing worse than California is the airport to get to California. Like, going to California is such a financial, like, I mean, I didn't pay for any groceries or anything, right? Because it was dining halls. I still probably spent about the same amount of money that I normally spend. I went and got 1 gallon of water. I went and bought, you know, I went to like, dude, everything was so expensive. The airport also, you do not need to get there early. I kind of touched on this. Like, I got there, an hour and some change early the first time. I got there like 2 hours early the second time. And the second time, I just, like, I got through, like, the first time I got through in like 5 minutes. The second time I got through in like 10 or 15, but I got molested, right? So the guy said, oh, it hit on your crotch. I'm going to have to take and, you know, I'm in California. I'm a little weary. I'm touching, like, you know, I was like, nah, like, I'm, you know, I was kind of fought him a little bit on it. And then he went, oh, well, you know, like it'll just be quick, you know, I'll pat you down, whatever. I was like, okay, you know, I'm really not having it. So I get over there, step there, and he goes like this. You know, he's rubbing up my leg. Like, this is my leg here. He's rubbing up my leg. Back of it. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Then he goes to the inside. He starts like rubbing inside of my leg. All right, like, I'm fine. Then he imagine that this microphone here is like my junk. If you guys can see. Imagine this microphone here is my junk, right? And it's kind of maybe like this. Here, let me going. Oh. My camera broke. Oh. Okay. Well, let me give you an illustration. My camera's broke. Of the rest of the video. So I'm here, and I'm kind of like this maybe, and the guy gets his hands. He puts his hands together like this. He puts them together like, right? And he starts rubbing them like this unit, right? He starts rubbing them like up and down. Kind of like starting over here and then going like over my wiener, right? But the way he does it is when he gets such that my wiener is like down, but you know, underneath here kind of area. What he'll do is he'll go all the way down under to scoop it up so that it's like on the top of my hands and like lift it up to ensure he gets maximum sackage on the top of his hands and is lifting it like up above the like he's like rubbing me up and down. And I was, dude, I bet it did hit on my crotch. I bet it hits on every dude's crotch. I bet that this guy was waiting for, oh, he saw me, man. Now, what I really think it was is that my pants, I was wearing like my underwear was pretty tight, right? And then like a lot of my clothes are a little small. I don't really buy clothes. And so these clothes that I was wearing, I think that just because I looked it up online, I couldn't, because what is it scanning for? They don't tell you. It's like when dogs hit on criminals, like oh, he smelled like he hit on your car. Is there anything that you have? No, it's just, in other words, hey, I want to search your car, and you don't know what my dog does when he smells something. It's the same thing. Oh, the scanner picked up on such and such. What's that mean? What is it picking up? Is it it's not a metal detector. What is it picking up on? I have no idea. I looked it up. I don't know, but it seems like they were detecting a dense area in my crotch right here. This is dense area. Which figures, right? But that's kind of what it seemed like, and I was pretty not happy with it. But after I got molested, man, I got into the airport. I Ubered with my boy Tang and Parham, the same Parham that was he was actually playing TFT. That's the reason I'm playing TFT is because of Parham. He's nice. He's like master, dude. He's a high master, like grandmaster. Yeah. So I was like watching him play some. But Parham and this guy Tang came because they reimburse you for your travel, right? And so we're traveling. We get the plane and then we got the Uber that you can get that paid for as well. And I said, I was like, is anybody Parham and I are leaving at 5:20. My flight was we ended up getting to the airport like 5:45 ish. My flight was at 7:15 is when it boarded, I want to say. 7:15 it boards, 7:45 it leaves, and then Parham was like 7:30 and 8, I think, with boarding and leaving. So they were pretty close, right? So we're going to ride together. Does anybody want to go to Oakland Airport with us? What I said to the WhatsApp chat for the summer school. Tang says, yeah, I'll come with you. All right, cool. We hop in the car, whatever. We get there 6:45. 5:45. I'm like, oh, Tang, when's your flight? 10. 10? Tang, it's 5:45. You do not have to pay for the Uber because they're reimbursing you for the Uber. 5:45, he's waiting until 10. Right? This is 4 hours and this is 15 minutes. He's waiting 4 hours and 15 minutes. Oh, well, I mean, Tang, like, you must be flying to Maine. You must be flying to Europe. You must be, No, he's flying to New Mexico. California is like this, and New Mexico's right here, dude. It was a 3-hour flight. He said it was like 3 hours. I was like, oh, how long is your flight? He said like it was around about 3, right? So he's gonna be for a time and a half at the airport, dude. Parham and I could not stop laughing. It was unbelievable because it was free too. He could have just gotten his own Uber at like 8 or something. Like, so, dude, you could have just called. But yeah. So anywho, my boy Tang, shout out Tang, dude. If you're watching this video, well, I mean, if Tang is watching the video, I know I've made it, dude. I'm gonna have like millions of views or something. Because he ain't watching this. But Tang was the GOAT. Shout out him. Then the last couple things, when I got back here to Raleigh-Durham, is what people call it. Everybody was calling it Raleigh-Durham on the flight and at the airport stuff. Oh, anybody going to Raleigh-Durham? It's like, dude, I don't. And I saw it like an Instagram meme while I was there. People were, it seems like, thinking that Raleigh-Durham is a city. Like sometimes it gets like voted, like what's the best city to fly into, or what's the the nicest city, right? Like I saw something that Durham had like a really high voting, but half of its votes were Raleigh-Durham or something like this, and all the flight attendants and everything talking about Raleigh-Durham. Like I know it's RDU, but it's not like they wouldn't say like we're going to RDU or Raleigh-Durham Airport. No, we're going to Raleigh-Durham. Like we're going to Vegas or we're going to Oakland. It's weird, man. And then when I touched down, I was sweating bullets, dude. So that gets me done with California. And I guess I might as well recap y'all on the last week, man, too. So I was supposed to get picked up by Tay. Instead, Cooper and Sharon had to pick me up because Tay pulled her back real bad, went to the ER, right? That's ER trip number 1, foreshadowing. That was on Saturday. Sunday, I just kind of took care of Tay because she couldn't like really walk or whatever, but she was getting better, right? Monday, she was feeling a lot better. I wake up in the morning. Groin pain. I say groin because, well, we're all friends here because we were already talking about my meat here. So this nut right here was having some strange pain. It might have been, I think it was from this guy, right? This guy touching me my parts didn't know how to act. But you know, I had some pain. Went to the doctor again because it was like it kept on happening. It's happened before in the past, but it just kept happening. I remember I first went to the doctor in like 2020 about it. They were like, "Oh, it's nothing." I was like, "All right, whatever." And then I went, and the guy was like, "Oh, you have like a slight hernia, but like it's not like a big deal. It'll kind of fix itself or whatever. Just like don't worry about it. But if it hurts while you're exercising or whatever, like let me know." Like, all right, cool. Monday, you know, I'm in the doctor's for like 6.5 hours because I did an ultrasound on my parts, and it took like 4.5 hours to get back. It's crazy. So, you know, I'm at the ER. We head out, and then I had to cancel my class and stuff because I started teaching last week. Fun week to start teaching. Finally, man, Tuesday, I pull up, and I do my teaching. It all went really well, and we got 8 students in my pre-cal class. It was a fun time. It's a really great class. And then I go to jiu-jitsu at 5:30. I'm rolling with Mike, Big Mike, purple belt, like 260. This guy is nice. I get him in 411. Okay, well, actually, I can look up. You know, I can show you guys. So let me pull this up over here. We can look up 411. So here I had Brother Man in. How do we want? These aren't really 411. Like where? Like I want the. Yeah, kind of like this, right? So you got this leg over. Can't see it very well. The idea is these legs are out. That's the 11, and you're figure 4ing your legs over this leg. You can attack this like a straight footlock like he's doing here. You can wrap this arm how it's over here. You can wrap this underneath here and knee bar this. And you can also like heel hook this foot here, right? It's a super strong position. So I get Mike in 411, right? And he's a purple belt. He's really good. When I get him in 411, I'm so hyped, dude. I'm like, oh, I'm about it. Like I'm taking this ankle with me, man. I'm like really trying to fight something. But the way that you fight these foot attacks is you have to stay close. So Mike was keeping me really close. I couldn't shake him. I tried to like spread him out, but I couldn't do it. He ended up passing, and I got in some weird position. I was like, okay, whatever. But I was in such a good spot that I really thought that I could get him. I was still super tense. So I end up kind of like, you know, he like gets to my side control. I plant my foot really hard, but when I plant my foot, instead of planting it like this, you know, instead of planting it like this, I plant it more on this side here. So my foot's kind of like that. And then it like rolled this way, and like I sprained my ankle really bad. So that's ER visit number 3. Tay came and got me. I thought it was broken because it was like super swollen. I'm telling you, dude, it was like I had a tumor on that thing. Hawk tumor on that thing. If you're still watching right now, comment Hawk tumor. I want to test if anybody's still seeing this or if I'm just talking to myself. But if I'm talking to myself, man, it's been a wonderful week. I cannot complain. Playing a bunch of TFT. I got from like silver something to platinum because I've been playing so much. But anywho, I hope that you all have a wonderful day. This is my California / last week update. I got something planned big still coming. I've been having this planned for a little while for the channel, but it just hasn't been kind of panning out the way that I was assuming. It's taken a little while, but it's cool. I do have a new series. I'm going to be dropping Spore. I'm going to start playing Spore. Spore is going to be a fun game to stream, man, or to record, right? Spore is super fun. So if anybody has a good Spore challenge, comment that as well, or text me or whatever. And I will catch y'all on the JTron. Take it easy.